Hi, I'm Andy Webb from Be Clever with Your Cash, the blog that helps you make the most from your money. One of the biggest things you can do to get a little bit of extra cash is to switch your energy. Ofgem, who are the regulator, say that the average family can save 300 quid by switching. But so many people I talk to, they say, I can't be bothered, it's too much hassle, takes too much time to do it. So this video is to try and prove that it doesn't take much time at all, that it's really quick, and it's possibly the easiest money you're ever going to make. What I'm going to do, my deal finishes in 14 days, in 2 weeks. So I'm going to do a live switch now and see how long that takes. It's just gone 4 o'clock, it's 4:01, and I'm going to do it live. So let's say starting now, let's see how long it takes for me to switch my energy. So what you're going to need first of all is your bills. So I've got them up here on the computer, online. That's how I do my billing, but you might have it on paper. You'll need to find in there two important bits of information. The first one is the name of the tariff that you're on. So whatever the deal is, it might say standard variable rate, or it might say, like my one does, it's got a special group thing from MSC. And then what you're also going to need is a comparison site. The one I use is Martin Lewis's Cheap Energy Club from Money Saving Expert, and I'll explain why I think that one's the best one in a moment. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to get my bill live, and I'm going to find the name of the tariff and also how much energy I've used in the last 12 months. That's really important. And then in another tab, I'm opening up Cheap Energy Club, and that's clubs.moneysavingexpert.com/cheap energy club. It's really, really simple. Entering this data, now I've got the bill in front of me, it's going to take 2 minutes. So my postcode goes in first of all, helps find the address, and there you go, there it is really quickly. It's asking me what type of energy I have, and I've got both gas and electricity with the same supplier. And who are my current energy gas supplier, and I'm with E.ON for both of them. I pay by monthly direct debit, which is where you get another bit of a saving. And drag down and find the name that's listed on the bill, which is the, let's keep going, Money Saving Expert Fixed 1 Year Collective, September 2015, online. Which means basically a year ago I fixed and I got the best deal that was available to me at the time. Fixing's where you stick to, the price can't go up or down in terms of how much they charge you per unit of electricity or per unit of gas. Of course, if you use a lot of electricity or use a lot of gas, then your bill will go up. And if you don't use much of it, it will go down. But that's what a fixed means. It means the prices can't go up. They also can't go down during the year. It's asked me when that deal finishes, and again, that's on the bill, and it says it finishes on the 14th of October this year. And again, I've got to repeat that for electricity, but that's really simple. It's all exactly the same information. If I can find it, it's a long, long list of different things, and that's what's quite confusing for people. It's like how many things there are there, how many things you've got to try and choose from. But actually, if you kind of just have that, what's on your bill, that's all you need. That will tell you exactly what it is that you need to enter into these comparison sites. And the others all work in exactly the same way. Okay, so next thing it wants to know me is, do you know how much energy you use? And as I mentioned before, that's written on your bill. Now, because I've not been with E.ON for more than 12 months, I've only got an estimated usage for the last 12 months, but that will do for what I'm doing here. If you've been with someone for longer than that, you should have the actual use for the last 12 months, and that's going to give you the most precise comparisons, because obviously every company charges a little bit different for gas and a little bit different for electricity. So knowing exactly what you've used might mean that one is better than the other if you're more likely to use gas or more likely to use electricity. So I've got those numbers here, so I'm just I can copy and paste those in. And then let's get the gas as well. And it tells me for every month, every year. I'm putting it in for every year. You can just put it in what you pay every month, every quarter, things like that. It's asking me if I want to pay by direct debit. I do want to pay by direct debit because that's going to save me the most money. If you can't, because your credit rating isn't good enough, you can still go through this process and you still can probably save money pre-switching. And then it wants to know a few other little details. So I'll quickly throw those in. And email address, things like that, because that's how you're going to switch online. You've got to put a little password in. Make sure I write the same thing twice, which I often don't do. Accepts new terms and conditions. And then it will whiz around in the background. And now it's starting doing the comparison. So it's now 4:06. So that's taken me 5 minutes just to put that information in. So I've got a list of things. I'm just looking at all tariffs, because I think that's the easiest one, but you can look at renewable if you want to. And if you don't want to fix, there's an option for variable tariffs as well. There's a lot of new companies around there, often giving quite low prices. But looking at this, the third option is EDF, and that is saying I will save £23 a month, or £276 over a year. That's if I did nothing at all. I let my tariff go onto variable. That's how much I could save by doing this instead. But that looks to me like a really good deal. I'll get £30 cash back from it as well. Something to look out for is the exit fees. If I want to leave it before the end of this fix, which is for 13 months, I'll have to pay 50 quid. But normally I can't imagine I'll make a 50 quid saving on top of that in the next year that makes much of a difference. So if I click on switch and get cash back, it's sending me through to Money Supermarket, which is kind of obviously owns Money Saving Expert, so that's who they work with. A lot of the information I already put through is there, so I don't have to put much more in. I have to reconfirm my email address. It wants a telephone number, an alternative one as well. Security questions. So this is kind of for EDF as I move through to them, for them to know what's going on. So put in my date of birth. Ask my mother's maiden name. It's asking me if I've got a smart meter. I don't have a smart meter. That can make things a little bit different, a little bit more complicated. Do I want any more information? No, I don't. And then it asks me to enter in my bank details. So that doesn't take me very long at all. Sort code and account number. Is the billing address same as the supply address? Yeah. What day do I want to pay the bill on? I'll select that for the day after payday. May as well. And that's it. So that took like maybe a couple of minutes to look at the results. I was babbling on a bit, so it probably takes a bit longer on this video. And filling in those details, again, it took a couple of minutes. All I need to do now is click proceed to switch, and it will take roughly, I think, 17 days for the switch to happen, more or less. They give you a 2-week cooling off period. So they won't do anything for 2 weeks, because you might, if you change your mind and want to go somewhere else, and then the switch should happen. And you don't have to do anything at all. That's all done by the other companies. They'll talk to each other. They'll make sure it happens. There's no difference to the electricity you receive. There's no difference to the gas you receive. It's exactly the same stuff going through exactly the same pipes. It's just how you're charged. It all happens elsewhere, so you've got nothing to worry about. So from start to finish, from me getting my bills up online, from opening the comparison site, putting the data in, looking at the results, and then choosing which one to switch through and putting some more information in and pressing submit. That's less than 10 minutes, and I've been talking away explaining bits and pieces. So in those 2 minutes, I'm going to save, what was that figure again? Let me go back to the results. If I didn't do anything, if I hadn't switched at all, if I left it completely as it was, £276 that I've earned in 10 minutes. That's a fantastic amount of cash you're not going to get. And much better than spending 10 minutes looking for coupons to save at the supermarket, which might save you 50p. So I'm Andy Webb, as I said, from Be Clever with Your Cash. Click through to the article and you'll be able to see a little bit of information about how to switch and some of those other things to look out for. Thanks.